moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Over to page 15. You should repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language. I know perfectly well that I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is, that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German when he's leaving town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes I think he's so serious he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanour is especially to be commended in one so comparatively young as he is. I know no one with such a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
Yes, well I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together.
Cecily, I'm surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life. Ideal merriment and triviality would be out of place in his conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometimes. We might have a good influence over him, Miss Prism. Well, I'm sure you certainly would. Well, you know, German and geology and things of that kind influence a man very much.
I do not think that even I can produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is irretrievably weak and vacillating. Indeed, I am not sure that I would even desire to reclaim him. I'm not in favour of this modern mania of turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. You must put away your diary now, Cecily. I really don't see why you should keep a diary at all.
Oh, I keep a diary to enter the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry around with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that have never happened and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for nearly all of the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us.
Do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in earlier days.
Did you really, Miss Prism? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it did not end happily. I don't like novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
Well, I suppose so, but it doesn't seem very fair. Was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned. Oh, I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. But to your work, child, these speculations are profitless.
Oh, but I see dear Dr. Chasubel coming up through the garden.
Dr. Chasubel, this is indeed a pleasure.
And how are we today, Miss Prism? I trust you are well.
Oh, dear Miss Prism has just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her much good to have a short stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasubel.
Cecily, I have not mentioned anything about a headache.
No, but I felt instinctively that you had a headache, dear Miss Prism. In fact, I was thinking about that and not about my German lesson when the rector came in.
I do hope, Cecily, that you're not being inattentive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
That is strange. Were I fortunate to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I mean, metaphorically, of course. A metaphor was drawn from bees. Is Mr. Worthing not returned from town?
we do not expect him until Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes, he likes to spend his Sundays in London. He's not one of those who's so lame in life. His enjoyment, by all accounts, that unfortunate young man's brother seems to be. But I must not disturb Egeria and the doctor.
Egeria? My name is Letitia, Doctor.
A classic allusion, merely drawn from the pagan authors. I will see you, no doubt, at evening song.
I think I will have that stroll with you after all, Doctor. I feel I have a headache coming on after all, and a walk might do it good.
A pleasure, Miss Prison. A pleasure. We may go as far as the schools and back.
Oh, that would be delightful. You will read your political economy in my absence, Cecily. The chapter on the fall of the rupee you may omit. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic side.
Horrid political economy, horrid geography, horrid German.
Mr. Ernest Worthing has just ridden over from the station. He has brought his luggage.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4 the Albany W, Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him that Mr. Worthing was in town?
Yes, miss, he seemed very much disappointed. I mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He said that he was anxious to speak to you privately.
Ask Mr. Ernest Worthing to come out here, and, well, I suppose you'd better talk to the housekeeper about a room for him.
Yes, miss.
Feel rather frightened. I've never met a truly wicked person before. So afraid he'll look just like everybody else. He does.
You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
Oh, well, you're under some strange mistake, for I am not little. In fact, I believe that I am more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. You, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest, my wicked cousin Ernest.
Oh, you mustn't be my wicked cousin Cecily. I'm really not that wicked at all.
Well, I hope you have not been leading a double life. Pretending to be wicked and being good all the time. Why, that would be hypocrisy.
Oh, of course I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now you mention the subject, I have an illness for wedding very, very bad.
Well, I'm not sure you should be so proud of that, but I'm sure it must have been rather pleasant.
Much pleasure being here with you, cousin Cecily.
Well, I'm not sure why you're here at all. Uncle Jack isn't due back until Monday afternoon.
Well, that's a great disappointment for me. I'm obliged to go back up to town for the first train Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
Oh no, the appointment is in London.
Well, yes, and I see how important it is not to keep a business arrangement if one wants to retain any sense of the beauty of life. But still, I think it best that you wait for Uncle Jack to arrive. I know he wanted to talk to you about your emigrating.
Am I what?
Well, about your emigrating. He's gone up to buy your outfit.
Oh, I wouldn't let Jack choose my outfit. He has absolutely no taste in neckties at all.
Well, I don't think you should require neckties. He's sending you to Australia.
Australia? I'd sooner die.
Well, he said at dinner on Wednesday night that you should have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the reports I've had of both Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging, cousin Cecily. This was good enough for me.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
I'm afraid I'm not that. Which is why I would like you to reform me. You might make it your mission, if you don't mind, cousin Cecily.
I'm afraid I've no time this afternoon.
Well, would you mind my reforming myself this afternoon?
Well, it is rather exotic of you, but I think you should try.
I will. I feel better already.
You're looking a little worse.
Oh, that is because I'm hungry.
Oh, I should have known that when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you come in?
Thank you. May I have a buttonhole first? I find I never have an appetite unless I have a buttonhole first.
A special meal?
No, thank you. But may I have a pink rose?
Why?
Because you are like a pink rose. Cousin Tilly.
I don't think it's right that you should talk to me like that. Miss Prism never says such things to me.
Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. Well, quite the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says that all good looks are a snare.
They are a snare. Every sensible man would have to be caught in.
Oh, I don't think I should care to catch a sensible man. I shouldn't know what to talk to him about.
You are too much alone, dear Dr. Jasper. You should get married. A misanthrope, I can understand. A womanthrope, never.
Believe me, I do not deserve so neologistic a phrase. The precept as well as the practice of the primitive church was distinctly against matrimony.
Well, that is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up until the present day. And you do not seem to realise, dear Doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But isn't a married man not equally attractive?
No married man is ever attractive, except to his wife.
And often I've been told, not even to her.
Well, that depends on the intellectual sympathies of a woman. Maturity can be depended upon. Ripeness can be trusted. Young women are Greek. I speak horticulturally, of course. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. But where is Cecily?
Perhaps she followed us to the schools.
Mr. Worthing.
Mr. Worthing.
What a surprise! We did not expect you until Monday afternoon.
I have returned sooner than I expected. Dr. Chaswell, I hope you are well.
Mr. Worthing, I do hope this garb of woe does not present some terrible calamity.
My brother,
More shameful debts and extravagance.
Still leading this life of pleasure.
dead.
Your brother Earnest, dead.
Quite dead.
What a lesson for him. I trust he will profit by it.
Mr. Worthing, I offer you my deepest condolences. You have at least the knowledge of knowing that you're always the most generous at forgiving your brothers.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow.
Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad. In Paris, in fact. I received a telegram last night from the manager of the Grand Hotel.
And was the cause of death mentioned?
Yes. A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so shall he reap.
Charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am acutely susceptible to drafts. Will the interment take place here?
No. He seems to express a desire to be buried in Paris.
Paris? I hardly seem to think that seems to show a serious state of mind at the last. You will no doubt wish me to make some mention of this tragic domestic reflection of my sermon on Sunday. My sermon on the meaning and the manner of the wilderness can be adapted to almost any cause, be it joyful, as in this case, distressing. I have preached it at harvest celebrations, confirmations, christenings, and days of humiliation and festival days. In fact, the last time I preached it was at a cathedral. A charity sermon on behalf of the Society of Discontent amongst the on-orders. The bishop who was present was most struck by some of the analogies that I drew.
I'll remind you, you mentioned christenings, I think, Dr. Chaswell? You do know how to christen all right, I suppose. mean, you are continually christening, aren't you?
It is, I regret to say, one of the rector's most constant duties in the parish. I have often spoken to the poorer classes on the subject, but they don't seem to know what thrift is.
But Mr. Worthing, have you any particular interest that you are interested in? I believe that your brother was indeed unmarried.
Oh, yes.
Most people who retire for pleasure usually are.
But it's not for any infant, dear Doctor, although I am very fond of children. No, the fact is, I would like to christen myself this afternoon, if you have nothing better to do.
But surely you've been married, you've been christened before, Mr. Worthing.
I don't remember anything about it.
Have you any grave doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to have. Of course, I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think that I'm just a little old now.
Not at all, not at all. The sprinkling or indeed the immersion of adults is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
We have no apprehensions there, Mr. Worthing. As sprinkling is all that is, I think, advisable. Oh, it is so changeable. At what hour would you like this to be performed?
Oh, I might trot around about 5, if that would suit.
Perfectly, perfectly. In fact, I have 2 similar ceremonies to perform at the same time. A case of twins that have occurred in the O'Brien cottages on your very own estate. You are Mr. Jenkins, the carter, a most hard-working man.
Oh no, I don't see much fun in being christened with other babies. That would be childish. Would 5:30 do?
Admirably, admirably. And now, Mr. Jenkins, I will not intrude on this house's sorrow any longer. I will merely beg that you are not too weighed down by your what seem to be bitter trials to us are often blessings in disguise.
These seem to me to be blessings of the most obvious kind.
Uncle Jack! Oh, I am pleased you're back. But what horrid clothes you've got on. Oh, do go and change. Cecily!
My child, my child.
What is the matter, Uncle Jack? You look happy. You look as if you've got toothache. And I have got such a surprise for you. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother! Your brother Ernest! He arrived about half an hour ago.
What nonsense! I haven't got a brother.
Oh, don't say that. However badly he may have behaved towards you in the past, he is still your brother, and you couldn't be so heartless as to disown him. I'll bring him out, and then you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are very joyful tidings.
After all we had been resigned to his loss, his sudden return seems to me peculiarly distressing.
I have brother in the dining room. I don't know what this all means. I think it's perfectly absurd. Oh, good heavens!
Brother John, I have come down from town to tell you that I'm very sorry for the trouble I have caused you, and that I intend to lead a better life in future.
Uncle Jack, you're not going to refuse your own brother's hand.
Nothing can induce me to take his hand. I think him coming here is a disgrace. He knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. Well, there's some good in everyone. And Ernest has just been telling me about his poor invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, who he used to visit so often. Surely there must be much good in one who leaves the pleasures of London to sit by a bed of pain.
Oh, he's been talking to you about Bunbury, has he?
Yes, he's been telling me all about poor Mr. Bunbury and his terrible state of health.
Well, I won't have to talk about Bunbury or anything else. It's enough to drive one perfectly frantic.
Of course, I admit that the faults were all on my side. However, I must say that I do find Brother John's coldness towards me peculiarly painful. I had expected a more enthusiastic welcome, particularly as this is the first time I have come here.
Uncle Jack, if you do not shake Ernest's hand, I will never forgive you.
Never forgive me?
Never, never, never.
Well, this is the last time I shall ever do it.
It's strange, isn't it, not to see such a perfect bit of reconciliation. I think we might leave the two brothers alone.
Cecily, you will come with us.
Oh, of course, Miss Prism. My little task of reconciliation is over.
You've performed a beautiful action today, dear child.
We must not be premature in our judgments.
I feel very happy.
You young scoundrel, Algie, you've got to get out of this place as soon as possible. I don't allow any bumbering here.
I have put Mr. Earnest things in the room next to your own, sir. I suppose that is all right.
What?
Mr. Earnest's luggage, sir. I've unpacked it and placed it in the room by the side door.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaux, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a rather large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can't stay for more than a week this time.
Merriman,
Yes, sir.
order the dog cart at once. Mr. Earnest has been suddenly called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a fearful lie you are, Jack. I have not been called back to town at all.
Yes, you have.
I haven't heard anyone call me.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
My duty as a gentleman never interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
You're not to talk Miss Cardew like that. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like your clothes. You're perfectly charming. Why don't you go up and change? It's perfectly ridiculous you being born in for a man who's staying with you for a whole week as a guest in your own house. I call it grotesque.
You're not staying with me at my house for a whole week to get or anything else. You have got to leave by the 4:05 train.
I can't leave you while you're in mourning. I think you're very unfriendly of me. If I were in mourning, you would stay with me, I suppose. I think it's very unkind if you didn't.
Well, if you go if I change my clothes.
Yes, just so long as you're not too long about it. And you've never known a man take so long to get dressed. Such little result.
Well, it's better than being always overdressed as you are.
If I am a little overdressed occasionally, I always make up for it by being immensely overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage. And your presence in my garden, absolutely absurd. However, you have got to leave by the 4:05. And I hope you have a very pleasant journey back to town. This bumbering, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
I think it's been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, that is everything. I must see it before I go and arrange for another bunbury. Ah, there she is.
Oh, I really came back to water the roses. I thought you were with Uncle Jack.
He's gone to order the dog cart for me.
Oh, is he going to take you for a nice drive?
He's going to send me away.
Then we've got to part.
I'm afraid so. It's a very painful parting.
Well, it is always painful to part from anyone whom one has known for a brief space of time. The absence of old friends one can enjoy with equanimity, but even a momentary separation from anyone whom one has just been introduced is almost unbearable.
Thank you.
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
It can wait, Merriman, for 5 minutes.
Yes, miss.
I hope I shan't offend you, Cecily, if I state quite openly and frankly that you are to me, in every single way, the visible personification of absolute perfection.
I think your frankness does you credit, Ernest. If you shall allow me, I'll copy your remarks into my diary.
Your diary? I have to look at it, may I?
Oh, no. It is merely a young girl's record of her thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. When it appears in volume form, I hope you shall order a copy. But pray, do continue. I delight in taking down from dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. You can continue. I'm quite ready for more. And don't cough, Ernest. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and not cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell a cough.
Cecily, ever since I first gazed upon your wonderful and incomparable beauty, I began to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
Don't think that you should tell me that you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't make much sense, does it?
Cecily.
The dog cart is still waiting, sir.
Tell him to come back next week, or at the same time.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jack would be very much annoyed if
Oh, I don't care about Jack. I don't care about anyone in the world apart from you. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
Oh, you silly boy. Why, we've been engaged for the last 3 months.
Oh, for the last 3 months.
Yes, it will be exactly 3 months on Thursday.
But how did we become engaged?
Well, ever since Uncle Jack first confessed that he had a younger brother who was very wicked, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And, of course, one who is much talked about is always very attractive. You may think it foolish of me, darling, but I fell in love with you.
Darling, and when was the engagement finally settled?
On the 14th of February last. Worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to settle the matter. And after a long struggle with myself, I finally accepted you under this dear tree here. The next day I went out and bought this ring in your name. And this is the bangle with the true lover's knot that I promised you always to wear.
Did I give you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Oh yes, you've wonderfully good taste. It's the excuse I've always given for your leading such a bad life. And this is the box with all your dear letters.
My letters! But my own dear sweet Cecily, I've never written you any letters.
Oh, you need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I know only too well that I was forced to write your letters for you. I wrote always 3 times a week, and sometimes oftener.
Please, may I look at them, Cecily?
Oh no, they'd make you far too conceited. Besides, the 3 you wrote me after I broke off our engagement are so beautiful and so badly spelled that I can hardly read them without crying a little.
But was our engagement ever broken off?
Yes, on the 22nd of last month. You can see the entry if you like. Today I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it is better to do so. The weather still continues charming.
Why was our engagement broken off? What had I done? I had done nothing at all. I'm very much hurt indeed, Cecily, to hear that you broke it off, particularly when the weather was so charming.
Well, it would have hardly been a serious engagement if it hadn't been broken off at least once. Besides, I forgave you before the week was out.
Cecily, you are a perfect angel.
Oh, you dear romantic boy. I hope your head holds naturally, does it?
Yes, darling. With a little help from others.
I'm so glad.
You'll never break off our engagement again, will you, Cecily?
Well, no, I don't think I could now that I've actually met you. And besides, there is the question of your name.
Yes, of course.
Don't laugh at me, darling, but it's always been a girlish dream of mine to fall in love with someone of the name of Earnest. It's a name that inspires such confidence. In fact, I pity any poor married woman whose husband is not called Ernest.
My own sweet Cecily, do you mean to say you couldn't love me if I had some other name?
But what name?
Oh, I don't know. Any name you like. Algernon, for instance.
I don't like the name of Algernon.
But my own dear, sweet, loving little darling, I really can't see why you should object to the name of Algernon. It's all a bad name. It's rather an aristocratic name. Chaps who go to the bankruptcy court are called Algernon. My own dear, sweet Cecily, if my name were Algie, couldn't you love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I don't feel that I would be able to give you my undivided attention.
Cecily, your rector here is, I assume, thoroughly practiced in all the rites and ceremonials of the church.
Oh yes, Dr. Chasuble is a most learned man. He's never written a single book, so you can imagine how much he knows.
I must have only seen it once on the most important question. I mean, the most important business.
Oh.
I won't be away for more than half an hour.
Well, seeing as we've been engaged since the 14th of February, and that I only met you for the first time today, I think it is rather hard that you should leave me for so long a period as half an hour. Couldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I'll be back in no time.
What an impetuous boy he is. I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal in my diary.
Hey, Miss Fairfax has just called to see Mr. Worthing on very important business, Miss Fairfax.
But isn't Mr. Worthing in his library?
Mr. Worthing will see more of you
many good elderly women involved with Uncle Jack's philanthropic work in London. I don't much like women who are involved in philanthropic work. I think it's so forward of them.
Miss Fairfax.
Pray let me introduce myself. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. What a very sweet name. Something tells me we're going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say, and my first impressions of people are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me so much after we've known each other such a comparatively short space of time. Won't you sit down?
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
With pleasure.
And you'll always call me Gwendolyn, won't you?
If you wish.
Then, that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Perhaps this may be a favourable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bradford. You've never heard of Papa, I suppose.
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, Papa, I'm glad to say, is entirely unknown. I think that's quite as it should be. The home is the proper sphere for the man. Certainly, once a man begins to neglect his domestic chores, he becomes painfully effeminate, does he not? And I don't like that. It makes men seem very attractive. Cecily, Mamma, whose views of education are remarkably strict, has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. It is part of her system. So, do you mind me looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, not at all. I'm very fond of being looked at.
You are here on a short visit, I presume?
Oh, no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, or some female relative of advanced years, resides here also?
Oh, no, I have no mother, nor indeed any relations.
Indeed.
My guardian, with the help of Miss Prism, has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I'm Mr. Worthing's ward.
He never mentioned to me he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting now. I'm not sure, however, your news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I am very fond of you, Cecily. I liked you from the moment I met you, but I'm bound to state now I know you're Mr. Worthing's ward, that I cannot help expressing a wish you were just a little older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly.
Pray do so. I feel that whenever one has anything unpleasant to say, one should always be quite candid.
Well, to speak with perfect candour, Cecily, I wish you were a fully 42 and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature. He's the very soldier of truth and honour. Disloyalty would be as impossible to him as deception. But even men of the noblest possible moral character can be extremely susceptible to the influence of physical charms of others. Modern, no less than ancient history supplies us with many most painful examples of what I refer to. If it were not so, indeed, history would be quite unreadable.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn, but did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Well, it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. Well, it is his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me he had a brother.
I'm sad to say they've not been on good terms for a long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. I know I come to think of it. I've never heard any man talk about his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if a cloud had come across a friendship like ours, would it not? Of course, you are quite sure it is not Mr. Earnest Worthing who is your guardian?
Quite sure. In fact, I am going to be his.
I beg your pardon?
I see no reason why I should keep it a secret from you, dear Gwendolyn. Our little county newspaper is sure to chronicle the fact next week. Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
The announcement will appear in the Morning Post for Saturday at the latest.
I'm sure you are under some strange misconception because Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is certainly very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify the incident, pray do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read on the train. My dear Cecily, I'm sorry if this is any disappointment to you, but I'm afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can say, dear Gwendolyn, if it were to cause you any mental or physical anguish. But I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he's clearly changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish conduct, I shall consider it my moral duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten himself into, I will never approach him with it after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time to wear the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I'm glad to say I've never seen a spade. It's obvious our social spheres have been widely different.
Shall I lay tea here as usual, miss?
Yes, as usual.
Are there any nice walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew?
Oh, yes, Miss Fairfax. From the top of one of the hills nearby, one can see 5 counties.
5 counties? I don't think she'd like that. I hate crowds.
Yes, well, I suppose that is why you live in town.
Quite a well-kept garden, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I had no idea there were flowers in the country.
Oh, yes, the flowers here are as common as people are in London.
Personally, I don't know how anybody manages to exist in the country, if anybody who is anybody does. The country always bores me to death.
I suppose that is what the newspapers are calling agricultural depression. I hear the aristocracy are suffering very much from it at present. I've been told it's quite an epidemic amongst them. Would you care for some tea?
Yes, thank you. Detestable girl, I require tea.
Sugar?
No, sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter. Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
Oh. You have given me lumps of sugar on my tea, and though I ask most distinctly for bread and butter, you have given me. I am known for the gentleness of my disposition and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature. But I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, innocent, trusting boy from the fascinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I met you, I distrusted you. I felt you were false and deceitful. I never thought in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
Please don't let me trespass on your valuable time. I'm sure you have many other calls of a similar nature to make in the neighbourhood.
Ernest! My own Ernest!
Gwendolyn, darling.
May I ask if you're married, engaged to be married to this young lady?
Dear little Cecily. Of course not. What could have put such an idea in your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I knew there must have been some strange mistake, but the gentleman whose arm is currently around your waist is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack! Oh!
Here is Ernest.
My own love.
A moment. Pray ask me, are you engaged to be married to this young lady?
What young man? Good heavens, Gwendolyn!
Yes, to good heavens, Gwendolyn. I mean to Gwendolyn.
Of course, Doctor. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I felt there was some slight error in this card, you. For the gentleman who's embracing me now is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
No. Algernon Moncrief. Are you called Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
Oh! And is your name really John?
I could deny if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name certainly is John. It has been John for years.
A gross deception has been practiced on both of us. My poor, wounded Cecily. My sweet, wronged Gwendolyn.
You will call me sister, will you not?
There is just one question that I should like to be allowed to ask my guardian.
And I would more appreciate it. Mr. Worthing, there is just one question I would like to be permitted to put to you. Where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Ernest, so it is of some importance to us to know where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolyn, Cecily, very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth. First time in my life, I've ever been reduced to such a painful position. I'm really quite inexperienced at it. However, I will say quite frankly that I have no brother, Ernest. I have no brother at all. I've never had a brother in all my life, and I've not the smallest intention of ever having one of any kind.
No brother at all?
None.
You have never had a brother of any kind?
Never. Not even of any kind.
My dear Cecily, it seems that neither of us are engaged to be married to anybody.
Well, it is not a pleasant situation for a young girl to find herself in, is it?
Let us go into the house. They will hardly venture to follow us there.
No, men are so weak, aren't they?
This ghastly state of affairs, what you call bumbering, I suppose.
Yes, and a perfectly wonderful Bunbury it is too. It's the most wonderful Bunbury I've ever had in my life.
You've no right to Bunbury here.
No, that is absurd. One has the right to Bunbury wherever one chooses. Every serious Bunburyist knows that.
Serious Bunburyist? Oh, good heavens.
Well, one has to be serious about something if one wants to have any abuse in their life. I have to be serious about Bunbury, you know. Whatever you're serious about, I haven't got the faintest idea. Probably everything, I should fancy. You have such an absolutely trivial nature.
The only small satisfaction I have in the whole of this wretched business is that your friend Bunbury has quite exploded. You won't be able to go up to town quite so often as you used to, dear Algie. And a very good thing too.
Your brother is looking a little off colour, isn't he, dear Jack? You were going to disappear to London quite so frequently as your wicked custom was. That was a bad thing either.
And as for your conduct towards Miss Cardew, I must say, you taking in a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that, quite outrageous. Say nothing of the fact she is my only ward.
I can see no possible defence at all for your deceiving a brilliant, a clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax. Not to mention the fact that she is my cousin.
But I wanted to be engaged to Gwendolyn, that's all. I love her.
I simply wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
There's certainly no chance of you marrying Miss Cardew.
I don't think there's much likelihood, Jack, of you and Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is none of your business.
If it were my business, I wouldn't speak about it. Very vulgar to speak about one's business. Only people like stockbrokers do that, and then be at dinner parties.
How can you sit there, calmly eating muffins, when we're in this horrible trouble? I just can't work it out. You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
You can hardly eat muffins in an agitated manner. The butter would probably go to my chance. But you always eat muffins quite calmly. The only way to eat them.
I said it's perfectly heartless you're eating muffins at all, under the circumstances.
When I am in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I'm in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I can refuse everything, except food and drink. I'm eating muffins at the moment because I'm unhappy. Besides, I rather like muffins.
Well, that is no reason at all to eat them all in that greedy way.
Why don't you have some tea cake? I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens, can't a man eat his own muffins in his own garden?
Well, you just said it was perfectly heartless to eat them.
I said it's perfectly heartless of you to eat them under the circumstances. That is an entirely different thing.
That may be, but muffins are the same.
Algie, I wish to goodness you'd go.
I can't go. It's so asked me to go. I haven't had my dinner yet. No one ever goes without their dinner. Apart from vegetarians and people like that. Besides, I've just been arranged with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 4:45 under the name of Earnest.
My dear Fair, the sooner you give up that nonsense, the better. I made arrangements this morning with Dr. Chasuble to be christened myself at 5:30, and I will naturally take the name of Earnest. Gwendolyn would wish it. We can't both be called christened Earnest. That would be absurd. Besides, I have every right to be christened if I want. There's no evidence to suggest I ever have been. It's highly probable I never was. Dr. Chasuble agrees with me. It's highly different in your case. You have been christened already.
Yes, but I haven't been christened for years.
Yes, but you have been christened. That is the important thing.
Well, quite so. So I know that my constitution can take it. I mean, if you're not quite sure about you ever having been christened before, it's possibly rather dangerous you're venturing upon it now. Might make you very unwell. You hardly have forgotten that someone very closely connected with you was very nearly carried off this week in Paris by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said yourself that severe chill is not hereditary.
Well, it used to be, I know, but probably is nowadays. Science is always making wonderful improvements to things.
Oh, what nonsense. You're always talking nonsense.
Jack, you're at the muffins again. Told you I didn't like it. You're fond of muffins.
But I hate tea cake.
Then why on earth do you allow tea cake to be served up to your guests? What ideas you have of hospitality?
Algie, I've asked you to go. I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
Well, I haven't finished my tea yet. There's still 2 muffins left.
Oh,